So the way that a person can know that they're actually feeling the chakra and understanding what it's doing, as opposed to just having an imaginary idea, is by having the experience and the understanding of what that chakra feels like. And that's what this chakra workout is bringing people to. It's bringing them to that understanding of what's just imaginary versus what it is that I'm really connected to. As an example, if I have my hand out like this, I can imagine that I close it. But if I then bring my attention there, which then can influence the muscles, I can actually close it. And that's the difference. So it's a technique where you can bring your attention and your mind to that energy center, feel the sensation of it, and notice when it's changing, when it's shifting. And then, of course, the other thing is, over time, through the practice, then you see the results of it. You start to see things change. So as an example, in the chakra workout, we go through each chakra, the uniqueness of them, the likeness of all of them, and we do the evaluation, we do the adjustment. And then when the person starts to understand which ones are consistently not operating in the right way, they can go back to that one individually and work with it. And usually once you start to notice where there is some kind of abnormality in the flow, then you recognize that what that chakra is related to physically and emotionally is also something that's not functioning quite right in the body or in the emotions or in the life in general. At first, it's something that we learn as a series of exercises. And as we're doing that, we start to gain the experience of something that we may not have noticed as clearly before. Now, some people are already feeling and seeing, and a lot of people are interested and are working with elevated consciousness, which brings you to that interest. But when they hear about the chakras, then it's kind of something vague and it's energy centers, but what do they do, or how do I know what they're doing? And so it's a specific intention of this work to bring people to that experience so that they know that they're in touch with the feeling and the ability to work with that energy center. Over time, it becomes something that you practice because the practice of it helps to make us feel more balanced, more energetic. And what I noticed is that it transforms from practice to something that you really look forward to doing because of the effect. But then, once you really get that effect underway, it becomes something that you want to do, not have to do. For, like, let's say something's not working right, something's not in the way that you want it, but now you want to do it just because you realize that it brings you to a much more balanced place, a more creative place, a place where you feel physically more energetic, and a place where you feel more clear. In the end, it really becomes like a journey, because once you tune into the chakras and they start to open and balance, they become portals. By connecting to those portals, you have kind of like an adventure in consciousness. It becomes something like a transformed version of entertainment, and something that's really interesting, and something that you would do as you would take a walk, as you would watch a show, as you would read a book. You go into the chakra system, you make that connection and balance, and then you have this possibility to discover, to access different kinds of information that are encoded into that energy center. So I can't say enough about it because of the experience I myself have had with it. That's why I'm encouraged to do it, and I'm really curious to talk with people after they've practiced it for a while, because I think that people that stick with it, even for a short period of time, to get the initial part of it, which takes some work, it takes some discipline. But then, as I said, once you get it, It's something you look forward to and you want to do, and then it's something that becomes an adventure. The type of person, not that you want to typecast who would be interested in not, but usually the ones that are interested are people that are already exploring consciousness work. They want to make themselves feel more connected, more considerate, more inclusive in their life. They want to develop a greater spectrum of tolerance toward other people, places, and things. And they want to be able to be unconditionally accepting of others. So those are the type of people that tend to be interested in this kind of work. And I find that there are people that are interested in environmental equality, economic justice, and things that are just connected to the viewpoints of higher awareness. So people that are interested in awakening their consciousness, and once they start to become aware of the different balance and way that relationships work around them, the treatment of society, the treatment of the planet, and also the desire for themselves to have personal growth. Sometimes that alone can be very stressful, and it can be very draining. At the same time, people, as they're awakening, become more sensitive. So they're not going to want to be around really loud noises. They're not going to want to eat like really strong artificial type foods. It just changes the taste in that way. This kind of energy draining or stress that comes from being occupied with that can make people feel depressed, can make people feel lethargic, alienated. All these things happen, like alienated with family, because family is pursuing the social values. Like what's happening in the sporting event? What's on TV? Where are we going for this holiday? What are we buying here or there? And your interests and values have shifted to a whole different idea of what feels nice, what you want to do with your valuable time. So we can feel alienated, and at the same time, when we start to balance ourselves and learn how to use the functions that allow us to connect and have relationship, we can modify that feeling and interact and still continue relationships with those people and environments that are not necessarily pursuing the same values and development that we are. The guided processes in this chakra workout will bring more energy to the body. It also helps to balance the hormonal system, and it has a very strong effect on the immune system. And also activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which benefits all the organs and all the body systems. The parasympathetic nervous system is the regenerative function of the body. And so doing the chakra work absolutely activates that parasympathetic system. If people have been struggling with different physical problems, and this is not medical advice, I've just found this from my own experience and talking to some people that do this kind of work, that if you are able to harmonize the flow of the chakras, you are able to improve those physical conditions, and therefore able to make some kind of shift or change.